Raw, the apes have taken over. Oh, call me, And for the record, it's Apes Dunkirk with the fan. I'm totally switched the sides because you know what? Donald Trump was president, and our country's really divided right now. And I think him was the best the world up long enough. So yeah, take over, apes. Take over. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm a T-Rex!
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
What? I thought we were in Jurassic World.
No, Jurassic World! That movie came out 2 years ago!
Well, there's a new one coming out next year.
Yeah, next year. No, we're reviewing War for the Planet of the Apes and then Dunkirk. I know we've put this review off long enough, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna just give me that. Give me that.
It's okay, I also have a Triceratops. Oh, you have to do that. That was mean.
Okay, everybody, so now hopefully we're back on track. War for the Planet of the Apes, directed by Matt Reeves, who also directed the previous one, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It's the third installment in the current prequel series of Planet of the Apes. The first one was Rise, second was Dawn, now we're to War. A lot of you probably think this is going to be kind of like a war movie meets a sci-fi. I kept saying when it was initially coming out it was going to be kind of like
They turned on each other.
It was going to be kind of like a war sci-fi drama, and really, the movie probably shouldn't have been called War for the Planet of the Apes because even though the war is there, that's not the main focus of the movie. Really, in a lot of ways, it's more like a drama with the sci-fi element of the apes, which is what we loved about it. It was a great movie. It was awesome. I mean, we cried during it. I mean, you may say going into the movie, oh, I'm a man, I'm tough, I'm not gonna cry. No, you'll cry, believe me. It pulls at your heart, tears your jerks. Andy Serkis needs an Oscar nomination already because he just gave a great groundbreaking and emotional performance playing the main protagonist once again, reprising this role as Caesar the Ape. And after we saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, we were already saying, yeah, he's overdue for an Oscar, give him one already. He's Supreme Leader Snoke in Star Wars. After we saw Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, we were like, yeah, he was great in that. He could get an Oscar nomination for that role. And he didn't. Because, you already missed the opportunity with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Maybe you could give it to him here, but then they didn't do it there either. War for the Planet of the Apes is the time. It's the time to do it. In fact, we're actually starting a campaign to get him an Oscar nod. If you like this video and you like the movie, you thought Andy Serkis was great in the movie, you think he deserves an Oscar nomination, just like this video and then tap yes or send it saying Andy Serkis Oscar nod or something. And we're gonna send this to somebody. We're getting him his Oscar nomination.
Do you want to link something down below to maybe something?
Yeah, I'm gonna link it to my Facebook page. I think I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I have a Facebook. You don't have Facebook. You have a Tumblr, but you have, right?
Yeah, to a.
Maybe we could put that on Tumblr as well, if you don't mind. I don't know.
I say to my misfortune that I do have a Tumblr. Please don't look down on me for that. I know it's kind of a hellhole sometimes, but hey, it's our hellhole.
Oh yeah, but even on Facebook sometimes you run into that stuff though. But yeah, but we definitely should link it to one of those videos because, and go back to the actual review. Andy Serkis, just oh my gosh, he's so real in this movie.
Should we start a petition online somewhere?
Yeah, we should.
There are a lot of sites, right? I swear, we're being serious. He really does.
Yeah, this isn't us goofing around. I know we have to goof around sometimes, but no, I mean, in all seriousness, yeah, we're starting a petition to get him his Oscar nomination. It's about time. He's overdue for it. The Oscars won't give it to him because they don't consider what he does to be reactive probably because he's always playing anime characters, visually and emotionally captured, but they don't understand what he does with those characters though.
He wants it. He needs it. We need the Oscar
Yes,
nomination.
he was Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. That's another character he was, you might know. He was King Kong in the 2005 movie. He was.
He's had experience.
We said, yeah, besides Caesar, obviously. We said Supreme Leader Snoke. Who else? Captain Haddock in The Adventures of Tintin, 2011 animated film. And he was great in that role too. He was hilarious in that role. And there's plenty more I could say. It's an injustice
We need the Oscar
to not give him an Oscar nomination. And we're not the only one saying that. Chris Stuckman said that in his War for Film Apes book too. But he said the same thing that we're going to say was he probably won't get it. You know what? No, he's going to get it because we're going to start the petition. We're going to start the campaign, and he's going to get it. And no, he probably won't listen to us, but we'll do it anyway.
You're really optimistic there first. You're really.
Well, you know what? The film itself is great. The film itself should be nominated for Best Picture. But you say, but it's not the traditional film the Oscars usually nominate. It's kind of a big blockbuster.
Mad Max.
So was Mad Max Free Road. So was James Cameron's Avatar. So was Bridesmaids. What do they all have in common? They were all nominated for Best Picture. And no, they weren't the traditional films that usually get nominated. It seems like the Oscars every now and again kind of decide to nominate some films that aren't the traditional films they nominate. Something that's different. But it seems like they only do that every so often, and then after, when they do it, they're like, "Oh, we've done that enough. We're not gonna do that to this film. We're gonna do it to this film." Does that make sense?
Something like Star Wars could have been nominated in a 2016.
In 16 or 15 for Rogue One or for the Force Awakens, I think, and. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes could have been in 2014. I mean, there are a lot of blockbusters I've seen that I felt like were good enough to be Oscar nominees. If Mad Max Free Road could at least, I mean, if it could be nominated, I don't know why this can't.
It's time to start having more of these. I think that Mad Max Free Road was a wake-up call. Let's start having more of these.
What did they have nominated last year? Did they have at least one big blockbuster nominated last year, kind of big? I know Deadpool was nominated at the Golden Globes, not the Oscars, for like Best Picture, Music, or Comedy, and that was a surprise to everybody. A good surprise, a great surprise.
People were rallying for him to get an Oscar too. He did.
I wrote for Deadpool because his performance was very good as Deadpool. And Andy Serkis wasn't even the only actor I thought you could nominate. I think if you only nominate one, it should be Andy Serkis though. But there's some other ones I think that maybe could get some Oscar nominations. Was kind of brings me to the new characters that they've added a little bit, because some of the new characters they've added are, we know Woody Harrelson is the big baddie, the Colonel, and you know what? Woody Harrelson honestly gives one of the best performances he's given in his whole career, and I loved him as Woody on Cheers. Yeah, his name was still Woody on the show, ironically. And I loved him as Hamish in The Hunger Games, and I've loved him in many things. And you know what? He's a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors. And I can honestly say this is one of the best performances he's given.
He's pretty darn good as a villain.
Better than you would think. Some people may think he's too comical to play a villain. No, he can play a villain, though. He can play a villain. Because you know what? The villain you can sympathize with a little bit. You weren't really rooting for him. You still were rooting for Caesar and the Apes, Run, but they made him human enough. They showed stuff in multiple points of view. It wasn't one-sided. And that's what I've always loved about these Planet of the Apes films, especially the new ones. Especially the last one was like that a lot too. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was like that a lot, and this one kind of continued that. And Caesar becomes very human in this film. He becomes a lot more real. He acts human. He acts like a real person. And he looks so real because the motion capture has been done really well. And nominated for his visuals at least, I mean, because the team behind the motion capture is brilliant on this film. This film has beautiful visual effects.
We're actually going to the zoo tomorrow, something called Boo at the Zoo. It's a Halloween event. We'll probably see apes there, and they'll probably look. I swear, they'll probably look as close as War for the Planet of the Apes got, almost. Maybe exaggerated, but they come pretty close. They come close,
I mean, we're sorry that we kind of put this review off for a while. We got busy. We actually saw it opening night, And I remember when we walked into the theater, there was that sign that just said war.
Yeah, the marquee.
The marquee sign just said war. I think you need to know war.
That's all you need to know. War. War. Huh. War. War is good for absolutely nothing. Well, it is good for something. It's good for having a good movie. That's what it's good for.
We saw, what was I going to say? Well, and then another great character that they added to the film that was even better than the Colonel, not as good as Caesar still, was the comic relief character who actually brought a lot of heart to the film. Was more than just a comic relief character. Bad Ape, you saw him in the trailer, and I bet a lot of you probably were worried that he was going to end up being like a Jar Jar Binks character. Heck, even we were. No, he is great. He's hilarious, and he has heart, and his interaction, the chemistry with Caesar and the rest of the apes is great, and he adds so much to the film. And it's ironic because he's called Bad Ape kind of without spoiling anything. He was called Bad Ape by other humans, so he kind of kept that name, kind of adopted it. And what's funny is you hear his name Bad Ape and you think he's this tough guy. No, he's not. He's kind of a coward a little bit, at least to start with. He reminds me of the Cowardly Lion a lot in the Wizard of Oz, and then he turns around and kind of becomes brave later and helps them. And he's played by Steve Zahn, who's an underrated actor. He's not been in a whole lot of stuff that I can name. He was the dad in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, the first three, and he was on the short-lived TV show with Christian Slater. What was it called? Mind Games. That was called, yeah, I think. Mm-hmm. And he's great. He gives a great performance because he goes from being this coward to kind of really helping the gain out. And yeah, there were three actors at least that I thought could have been nominated for Oscar for this film. Andy Serkis, Woody Harrelson, and Steve Zahn all gave spectacular performances. But a lot of the actors were really good. And then they added the little girl that the apes found get taken care of. She's a good character. She's a new character. There's a new ape named Winter, who is kind of a white snow ape. And of course, we have our return characters. Besides Caesar, we also have Caesar's wife, whose name I forget, I apologize, played by Judy Greer, reprised in a row. His son is back, both of his sons, played by their original actors, but I forget who they are. Maurice, who I love, he's an awesome character. They're Ray-Gatan.
Maurice is a man of few words, an ape of few words, but you know, we love him.
He doesn't need to say a whole lot because he does so much with the expressions. And really, he could be nominated for an Oscar. The actor that plays him, Terry Norvitz, does a great job with him. And he also played King Kong in Kong Skull Island. So he has experience playing. The irony, I just love that him and Eddie Serkis both play King Kong in the movies.
Yep.
Oh, the irony. He's also one of the visual effects guys for the Planet Apes films. He's great. He could get an Oscar nomination. And who else is back? Well, that's mainly it because without spoiling anything, that's pretty much all the characters that are back. Oh, except for Rocket is back too. Rocket is no. Rocket's the one that's played by Terry Norvitz. I'm sorry, not Maurice. I forget who plays Maurice. Terry Norvitz plays Rocket, but Terry Norvitz is great as Rocket though. Whoever plays Maurice can be nominated. Rocket's great, but so could Terry Norvitz. Because there's so many actors in this film I feel like deserve Oscar. I really do. Oscar nods at least for this film alone. And then Luca the ape comes back. I forget who plays him. He was in the other two films. And I guess that's really all of them. But yeah, every once in a while, you go to a movie and you're just kind of blown away. And sometimes you go to a movie and you're just excited and you come out and you've thoroughly enjoyed it a lot. But sometimes it's even more than that. Sometimes you go to see a movie and not only do you come out all excited, say it's a great movie, loved it, see it now, pay for $5 to go see it in the theater, but you love it on a deeper level. You're like, this was a great piece of art. Really, this was art. This was a masterpiece. And really, all movies could be called a work of art. Don't get me wrong, but this one I definitely would call a work of art any day. And you know what? I would say the same thing about Dunkirk too, which is the other one we're reviewing today. So I think we said enough about War for the Planet of the Apes. It's awesome. You'll love it. And you know what? the way it is, because it's taking place so many years before the first Planet of the Apes, even though you kind of know sort of how it is a little bit, you know who wins the war. The way they play down this film, you're still surprised by the end. There's still plenty of stuff to not be spoiled, so we won't spoil any of that. So Dunkirk. So Dunkirk is based on a real historical event during World War II.
I really want to say right off the bat, I'm really happy that this movie did well. I'm happy that a lot of people care enough about history, because I feel like history, I think people don't care as much about history anymore. I don't care as much about things that are happening. We can learn a lot from history, and history is something to be remembered. But it's about a real historical event. It's about during the time in the 1940s when the English army needed to be essentially rescued by British citizens in Dunkirk, France during World War II. And it pulled off such an amazing feat. And at the premiere, they actually brought a few people who are still living, who are actually involved in that. And different people had different reactions. I remember one of them said he liked it, but he kind of got a little teary-eyed because he kind of he remembered it happening. And I remember another one comically said that the movie was louder than the actual event was, which I found funny.
Which is expected for a movie, to be fair.
Yeah, but you really see the grand scope of all of it. You do. It's a movie. Let's just say this: if you want character development, don't go see Dunkirk, because it's not really about that. It's about the moment,
No, and I think we should warn people about that. Is it's more so showing people in the middle of the moment. They don't add a fictional love story or any kind of fictional story. It kind of begins right in the moment, and but you're hooked because and the way they present it, and it's something that hasn't been done a lot before. It kind of works, and we loved it for that. And it really is a masterpiece and a great piece of art. And it pulls at your heartstrings, but in different ways than War for the Planet of the Apes did. Both are great films for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Both are spectacular films for different reasons. And the actors in Dunkirk do give spectacular performances, but there's not much character development. You just kind of see them reacting in the moment. And it's also fairly short. It's probably Christopher Nolan's shortest film, actually, they've ever done.
Yeah, he does a lot with that time, though. He does a lot with that, time.
He does a lot with that time. Tom Hardy is in it, who we loved as My Max Fury Road, and we loved him as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, and he was in Inception too. So this is at least the third film with Christopher Nolan, and he gives a great performance in this movie. Cillian Murphy gives a great performance, and
I can't resist doing Bane there.
No, you can't resist. And you know what? Harry Styles from One Direction is in this movie. When I first heard that, I kind of laughed, and I thought that was going to be silly, and I wasn't sure how well he did. You know what? He's not bad either in the movie.
Not bad. He's a little bit of a jerk at times.
But but that's a good performance because that's what his character's written in. I mean, with Christopher Nolan directing him, he gave a great performance. Actually, he actually gave a really good performance, and I never would have thought that. And that wasn't maybe rip on One Direction either, because I would have said the same thing if it were like Michael Jackson too. Just you don't picture someone like that being in a war movie, but you know what? It worked.
I remember years ago someone wanted to make an Edgar Allan Poe movie, make Michael Jackson in the title character, which makes no sense. They wanted him to play Edgar Allan Poe. Funny thing, you mentioned Michael Jackson. That was gonna happen. It didn't.
I think it's people kind of decided it would work. I mean,
quaff the raven, never.
Yeah, I just don't see Michael Jackson in that role. I mean, there's nothing against Michael Jackson, of course. I just don't see him in that role. So yeah, if you haven't watched War for the Planet of the Apes and Dunkirk yet, you should watch them and let us know what you thought of our video. Let us know if you agree or disagree, whatever. That's fine too. Just let us know your opinions on what you thought. Like, dislike. Feel free to subscribe if you like as well, and let us know what movies you're looking forward to coming up later this year. Let us know what some of your favorite movies were this year. But our top 3 favorite movies of this year so far currently are, in this order: War for the Planet of the Apes, Captain Underpants, and Dunkirk. Captain Underpants was such an underrated film. That's another one that you need to watch, and we read that one already.
Oh my gosh, man. Even if you haven't read the books or anything, you need to watch it because it's just so fun.
The best animated film of the whole year so far. My favorite animated film of this year.
Animated film was kind of disappointed me this year too, to be fair.
Yeah, and this year has been a great year for every other kind of film. I've enjoyed most of the live action films we've watched. And it's funny because last year was kind of diverse. Last year, animation was the best thing about films. This year's animation was the most important thing about films.
I'm looking forward to Coco. I'm looking forward to The Star. And are there any other animated films coming out this year?
Ferdinand. Those are some
Ferdinand.
animated films that we might like
Let's
to
see
see.
how
They might be pretty good.
Let's
yeah.
see. I mean, I'm sure that The Star will be a nice little, good, heartwarming Christmas movie. I like the direction it's going to take. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, well, if we get the chance to, that is, we have so many videos that we're working on. But if we get the chance to, we'll talk about that. But let us know what some of your favorite films were, and the films you're looking forward to, like we said already. And good night, everybody. Thank you for watching FunSmiths International.